Hey, we only have two last sessions left for the entire summit. I can't even believe this. We have two more star speakers left, and one of them is Yanique Grant, a customer experience specialist in professional training and occupational services. And Yanique is going to talk about the future of customer experience. It's about managing relationships and not chasing metrics. Now, we previously had a session about metrics, which I thought was really informative, and obviously, we probably want to pay attention to that as well. My goodness, I'm not talking into my microphone. Hopefully, you are able to hear me fine. But right now, I'm going to talk about managing relationships. Unique, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Really appreciate you all having me here today on this wonderful summit. I'm sure that you've all been having a wonderful experience since it started yesterday, and I'm hoping that I can add value to it in my short presentation that I have with you today. So, my topic is the future of customer experience is about managing relationships, not chasing metrics. And I'm a customer experience specialist. I'm a podcaster. I'm an author. So I'm hoping I can share some great insights with you today. So we're going to start off by looking at why it's important for you to manage relationships in your customer experience. So more than 70% of customers say they're likely to switch brands, and more than half say they'll either decrease or stop spending entirely with an organization. And you may be wondering, what does that mean? So to survive in this new world, businesses need to develop organizational capabilities that allow them to consistently deliver on what customers really care about, their experiences. Research shows that after a single bad interaction, customers, more than 75 of them, will likely switch to brands that are more than half will say they'll decrease or stop spending entirely with that organization. So, as a company, you need to be able to cultivate a loyal customer base. And loyalty can only happen if your customers feel like you are satisfying, exceeding their needs and their expectation. You want to ensure that you are with an organization that stays with you throughout your transformation as a customer, so your customer lifetime journey. And it's kind of hard to get that, especially in this constantly changing environment. So, those are definitely some things that, as a customer, our customers are looking for in their experiences. The next thing that we want to focus on in this presentation is feedback, because feedback is so important to customer experience. So your customers are constantly looking for opportunities for ways that they can give you feedback. And so the type of feedback that often drives the most strategic customer experience decisions is relationship feedback, which basically tracks the overall sentiment towards your company. So, in order to design and deliver the best in class experience, your business must be able to capture a continuous flow of customer feedback and then transform that feedback into tangible steps that create positive changes for your customers. While this feedback can come from a variety of different sources, everything from event triggered surveys to social media posts to product reviews will help you to have the overall sentiment of how people feel about your organization. Now, a lot of companies collect all different kinds of feedback, and they're doing all different kind of metric analysis to identify what it is and how their customers feel. Some of those metrics include the net promoter score, customer satisfaction, or even the customer effort score. The most popular relationship metric that most organizations use globally is NPS. And basically, as you all should know, it's a single question asking customers how likely they are to recommend your brand to friends or colleagues. Other common relationship feedback metrics include, as I said, customer satisfaction, likelihood to repurchase, and even composite metrics like the CX index. When it is used appropriately, these measurements act as a North Star, helping companies to orient the direction of their CX program, and it drives cross functional alignment to execute on their experience vision. So, these are all things that we need to pay attention and focus on if we really want to up our customer experience game. Now, if brands are going to flourish in the new business landscape that exists, right, they need to have a mindset shift. So instead of focusing on relationship measurement, where the company harps on scores to the detriment of action and improvement, businesses should transition to a relationship management philosophy where the company focuses on taking actions that are explicitly linked to improving key business outcomes like retention, loyalty, and lifetime value. So this is why you want to focus less on the metric and more on the relationship, because that's what really matters and that's what really counts. And so customer expectations matter because if you can meet them, customers are likely to spend 140% more after a positive experience, a whopping 140%. To do well in the future, to do well now, companies need to close the gap between what your customers expect and what the actual experience is. And a lot of times there's a big disconnect. You know, you spend all of this money on marketing and advertising, and your customers come, and what you advertise and the experience that your customers actually have there is a very big gap. And that alone will cause your customers to seek business elsewhere. And so what are some of the things that have impacted the customer's behavior over time? Right? We're going to look at some of those things. So, the first is demand for exceptional customer service is growing, especially among the millennial generation. And so, the demand for better customer experience is particularly strong with the new millennial generation of consumers who are expecting even higher levels of customer service experiences, especially since the pandemic. A study was done where a larger proportion, 66%, for consumers were aged from ages 18 to 34. And they identified that they are really looking for an exceptional experience. So again, their expectations are high, which means that they're expecting their service experience to be high. The second thing that has changed over time or has impacted customer expectations over time is the power of the consumer is greater. So gone are the days when you would rely on an advertisement that you would see on the television or that you would see maybe listen to on the radio. Right now, customers literally have the opportunity to decide which company they're going to choose. So with more competition or competitors in each industry, the emphasis for companies must be on how to keep your customers happy because there are plenty of alternatives out there. People have options. So because of this increased power of the consumer and an expanding market, it's reported that 48% of consumers expect specialized treatment for being a good customer, according to a research by Accenture. A third customer expectation that has changed over time is the digital experience is made possible with cheaper and more available technology. Nowadays, all consumers have a smartphone or access to online service. The marketplace is online and companies are moving towards an omni-channel approach. And when we say omni-channel, we mean if I communicate with you on Instagram DM or I communicate with you on Facebook, then the information is integrated and connected. So the representative that's dealing with me should be able to pull up the information and I should be able to have a continual conversation. Rather, not a conversation that is disconnected. So I would be talking to the person on Facebook Messenger and they would be like, I'm not sure what exactly you're making reference to. Could you please refer back to the information that you had shared with the other agent? Whereas the conversation could go completely differently, where the agent would say, hi, Miss Grant, I can see that you contacted us on our Instagram platform approximately 3 hours ago, and this was your concern. We actually have 3 options as it relates to your concern. And so you don't even have to repeat exactly what you were seeking information on because it's an omni-channel experience. It's all connected. It's smooth. It's seamless. It's effortless. It makes the customer feel so good. So if companies invest in digital technology solutions, they're going to have a competitive advantage over their rivals and they will be able to embrace this whole digital transformation much more. And of course, according to this report, their purport that they can be as much as 26% more profitable with this approach. The next big thing that customer expectations have changed over time is changing events and circumstances have impacted the way your customers behave. So we've been all going through this global pandemic, regardless of where you are from in the world, across whichever continent that you reside and operate your business from. COVID has impacted all of us. If the last year has taught us anything, it's that our social, political, and economic activities can change rapidly in response to emerging events. So, those are some of the things that customers' expectations have impacted changing over time. Now, another important thing is what are some of the influencers for our customers' expectation? And the first is their past experience. So your customers are basing their experiences on experiences that they have had with you in the past, right? So if they did business with you last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, these things will definitely impact them. Then they're also looking at what you communicate to them. So clearly, my expectation is based on what you say. So if you tell me that I'm going to get the product delivered by October the 19th, that is going to be my expectation. If you tell me that I will get a return call by 3 p.m., that is my expectation. And so it's important that if you don't communicate with your customers and tell them exactly what they can expect, they're going to assume. And a lot of times they don't assume on the positive side. Word of mouth feedback from other people is also a big important influence on your customers' expectations. So this comes in the form of testimonials. It also can come in the form of persons that they value their opinion, maybe a boss, a friend, a relative, a coworker, somebody who they value their opinion. And because that person has said to them, hey, I think you should try this new smoothie place, or hey, I think you should try this new restaurant down the road, then yes, you would definitely want to try it out because you value that person's opinion. And based on their feedback, it's going to influence your expectation of the experience that you will get at that company. Another big thing that influences our customers' expectation is their experience with other businesses, even ones that are not in your industry. So you're being compared to the Googles, you're being compared to the Amazons, you're being compared to the Apples, you're being compared to the Zappos, you're being compared to the Ritz-Carltons. And yes, you may not be in the same industry that those companies operate in, but the service and the experience and the feeling that the customers get from those experiences are like, wow. And they're saying to themselves, why can't I have the same experience when I do business with your company? So these are some of the things that influences our customers' expectations. Past experiences that they've had with us, what we communicate to them, word of mouth feedback, which can come from persons who they know, as well as testimonials, and experiences that they have with other businesses that are not even in your industry. So when we take all of those things into account based on what our customers are expecting, how can we rehumanize the customer experience and make it more fulfilling? Make it one where our customers are walking and talking and spreading good news about our business. Because even with all the technology in the world, the most effective form of advertising for any business is word of mouth. And we can't pay for our customers to walk and spread good news and be evangelists. We want to have those experiences that are so astronomical, so amazing, so fantastic that they are motivated intrinsically to go and walk and spread good news about the experiences that they've had with our business. And so the first thing we need to do is ensure that the service that we are offering to our customers provides a high level of convenience. Providing convenience starts with taking steps towards understanding our customers' preferences. For instance, what time do they prefer to speak to executives, or what type of communication channel do they prefer to use? You want to ensure that you are present on all modes of communication, including chat, call, social media, and make use of a customer support model that maximizes the availability of your agent. So no matter when the customer contacts you, there's an agent available to attend to them. So convenience is something that your customers will appreciate, and it will rehumanize that experience for them. The next part of rehumanizing is ensuring that you are offering a high level of speed. People nowadays want to get in and out of a business place in the shortest possible time. They want to just come and visit your website and get the information they're looking to get, or buy the product they're looking to buy in the shortest possible time. If they visit your website and it's so hard to navigate, they have no idea where to go, what to do, how are they going to get their issue resolved, it's going to frustrate them and they're going to leave the website. Is that what you want? Probably not. So don't keep your customers waiting. They appreciate the quickness of response, since patience is not really a virtue in the customer service industry. Once you respond to a customer query, the speed of resolution also matters. While some problems are harder to solve, the faster you can fix them, the better. A lack of required personnel to manage the volume of calls, too many manual tasks that slow your agents down and are possibly bottlenecks should be eliminated to achieve the desired speed of service. Because again, there are very few businesses that I can think of off the top of my head that customers want to go and stay there forever. Maybe if you're a spa or an all-inclusive hotel, you just love to go there and lounge away and just relax for an extended period of time. But typically, most people want to do what they're doing really quickly and get back to what they were doing in their day. So let's move on to how else can we rehumanize the experience? We want to do whatever it takes to make it right, right? All businesses have been created or formed to solve a problem. Your business is solving a problem for some customer somewhere in the world. Your solution is making that customer's life easier. It is creating a better experience for them overall. So to truly reach a standard of service excellence, you have to give your customer service team the freedom to do whatever it takes for final resolution, whether that's making compromises or spending a little extra. One such example of this approach to customer service was demonstrated by the Ritz-Carlton. A customer mistakenly left his charger at their hotel while rushing to the airport. He planned to call them once he stepped into the office after landing, but when he got there, he found a package with not only his charger, but an extra one just in case. That's how committed they were to ensure the customer had a great experience, even if it meant going out of their way to do so. So we really have to look for opportunities that we can make those solutions possible for our customers, fulfill their requests, answer their questions, solve their problems, because that's why our business was formed. You are there to provide a solution for your customers. The fourth option that we should embrace in order to rehumanize the customer experience is it's not enough just to react to problems anymore. If you really want to be a cut above the rest, you have to take initiative and contact a customer when a problem arises before they have a chance to reach out to you. Shows that you are prioritizing the issue and you are acting with urgency and understanding. This type of vigilance is what separates a great service organization from the rest. So you have to be proactive. Don't be reactive. Don't be the type of organization that it's when problems happen, that's when your customers are hearing from you. You must have mechanisms in place within your organization that a lot of times is technology driven that can predict to you if something is going to go wrong. And if something is going to go wrong, don't wait until it goes wrong to then reach out to your customer and say, hey, Mr. Customer, we realize that you've been without this service or this product for an extended period of time. We're really trying to do what we can. No, if you reach out to them before they even know that the need is going to arise for them to want that particular product or service, then they will value you and your business even more, because now you have reached the pinnacle of exceeding their expectations. So we really have to be proactive if we are going to rehumanize our customers' experience. And finally, we also have to analyze and improve. You want to use data to back up the performance of your customer service team. It's also the best available way to understand customer sentiment and whether or not your efforts are paying dividends. With so many reporting and analytical tools at your disposal, you can paint a clear picture of what's working and what's not. This way, you are able to plug gaps in your support and keep improving your customer experience. So analysis is important, and this will allow you to identify what are some of the areas that you need to give emphasis to and really work on in order to enhance your customer's experience. And so if you do all these things that we've mentioned before, and I'm just going to do a quick recap here. So to rehumanize, you want to offer convenience. You want to ensure that the service you are giving to your customers is speedy, because people want to get in and out of a business place or in and out of a website or in and out of a social media platform as quickly as possible. You want to do whatever it takes to make it right. You want to be proactive. You want to analyze and improve. If we put all of those ingredients together, along with some of the things that we spoke about earlier as it relates to ensuring that you remember that your customer's expectation is based on past experiences that they've had with you. It's based on what you communicate to them, and it's based on the word of mouth feedback that they get from other people, which can come from people who they know personally, who they value their opinion, but it can also come from testimonials from people who they absolutely don't know, but they value their opinion because they're doing an audit or an assessment to see how this organization can really add value to my life. And so it's their expectations are also based on experiences with other business, even ones that are not in your industry. So we strongly believe that if you're able to do all these things, that you will be able to increase your customer spend by as much as 140%, because your customers will leave with a positive experience from doing business with you. And so, if you really want some more information on how you can navigate your customer experience and provide a fantastic customer experience, I wanted to share here that you can grab a copy of my book. It's available on Amazon in ebook and soft copy. It's called The ABCs of a Fantastic Customer Experience, and it's a little handbook that you can use as a reinforcement tool with your leaders, managers, supervisors, employees in your organizations, and you can use it at weekly or monthly meetings to reinforce any concepts and behaviors of customer experience. A lot of what I discussed today is marinated into different parts of the book, so it's really a great tool. And in keeping with my time, because I know that this team is very time efficient, my presentation has come to an end. So I want to thank you graciously for giving me this opportunity to speak to you today. If you have any questions, please let me know.
We have one of the questions, and Chris is asking, where in Jamaica are you from?
I'm from Kingston, in Kingston, Jamaica. Have you been to Kingston, Chris?
Yes, yes, Chris is saying yes. Amazing.
Awesome.
Hey, it looks like hey, I don't have any questions. Come on, guys. You can drop them in Q&A or here in chat. Definitely got a lot to think about, right? I
Mm-hmm.
also love the
Indeed.
structure that Yanique you brought into the session. I love it.
Yeah, that's where I worked first, Chris. I before I started my business as a customer experience specialist, I worked at JMB. I worked directly with Donna Duncan Scott, which you would know if you worked there as well. And she is amazing. We're still very good friends to this day.
Amazing. Looks like that's it. Any last parting words, Unique? Where do you see, majority of people make mistake, or like any last parting words I think would be helpful?
Any parting words?
Yes.
Um, I think at the end of the day, you should approach your customer experience as a business as something that is not just a profit center, but something that is helping people to solve their problems. If you're genuinely interested in solving your customers' problems, the profit will come. So you really need to focus on people, both internally and externally. You need to focus on building relationships, because I'm telling you, I've been in business for 11 years now, and I have not done any advertising or marketing. All of my business has been through word of mouth, and it's come organically. And it's because of the relationships that I've built over the years. So I'm a strong believer that relationships are completely important. You need to build that business. Even if you scale and get really big, you still need to get to a point where the company, your customers believe that you value them as a customer. So you should make it very accessible for your customers to get in touch with you, whether it is by phone or through your website. You should also make sure that your customers are able to get their issues resolved. They shouldn't feel like they have to be jumping through hoops and climbing mountains to get the information that they're seeking to get. Because as I said to you before, every single business in this world was created to solve a problem. Whether you're selling a phone, you're selling insurance, you're selling a bed, you are selling food, you are solving a problem. And if you have that in the back of your mind, each and every time you approach an interaction with a customer, your profit will come. So that's my parting words to your team today, Natalie.
Amazing. Got it. Thank you so much. And we are super excited for our very last session. And everyone, I will see you in the next session. And Yanique, it's been a great pleasure having you here. And thank you so much. We'll chat again soon.
Great. Thank you.